right. Thanks everybody for watching our virtual advice panel. We really appreciate your support in the alumni office. And we have a really great program put together for you. You're going to hear from some of our graduates and hear about advice for life after Texas Wesleyan. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the alumni office and the advancement office. Typically, we do host the grad toast during our graduation week, which is a happy hour event that we have for our graduates. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that this year because of the pandemic. We're really sad about not being able to celebrate you all, but we put together an alumni advice panel in December, and it was really well received. And so we thought we'd do it again in May. We wish all the success for our graduates after they leave Texas Wesleyan, but we know it can be kind of stressful. So we wanted to put this together for you all. Our advancement office is tasked with promoting philanthropy to alumni, university friends, foundations, and corporations to support the strategic fundraising initiatives of the university. And the alumni office is housed in the Office of Advancement, and our main focus is to engage alumni. And we do that through events and programs that keep our alumni involved with their alma mater after they graduate. So some of the fun things that we do are an alumni reunion, which we do in the spring, which has tons of events. This year it was virtual. We will go back into in-person events in the spring next year. We're really excited about that. We also include a Wesleyan wine walk with our reunion, which is where alumni can come back to campus and learn about some of the programs and departments on campus while enjoying wine and cheese and food pairings. And then we also have our Wesleyan 5K, which is a really good opportunity for families and the community to participate in, and that's also in the spring. So we have been hosting virtual events lately. They are not like in-person events, but we are really enjoying doing them and featuring some of the programs and departments that we have at the university. And we also have Social Rams, which is a social media ambassador program that people can also join. So you'll find all of that information on our website. But for right now, let's hear a little bit about our panelists. So first, I will turn it over to Jordan Boone. He's going to tell us a little bit about himself.
Hey, how's everybody doing? You guys can hear me? Okay, yeah, you can hear me. My name is Jordan Boone. I am from Fort Worth, Texas. I graduated from Texas Wesleyan in 2016. So to me, it seems like a long time ago, but not too long ago. So I'm the business owner. I own Nation 10 brand, which is a custom uniform company here in Fort Worth, Texas. We make football, basketball, track uniforms for different professional teams, high school, colleges, and youth organizations all over the United States of America. So that's what I do for a living. And that's a little bit about me.
Awesome. Let's hear from Melissa now.
Hi. So my name is Melissa Escobedo, and I'm also a Fort Worth native. I graduated May 2020, so I guess technically our walk across stage is coming up with everybody else. But my degree is in marketing, but I actually am a financial advisor with Northwestern Mutual, and I don't know, I just absolutely love what I do. And I love Texas Wesleyan. I absolutely loved my time there. It's too bad it ended in COVID, but I'm trying to stay as attached as I can. So that's why I'm here.
Awesome, thanks. Okay, Xavier, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Xavier E. Sanders, and let me just first and foremost say just congratulations to our upcoming graduates. Welcome to the Alumni Club. And just a little about myself. As I said, my name is Xavier Sanders. I currently serve as the Executive Director for the Barbara Cares Foundation. I love Texas Wesleyan, and I just count it an honor just to be a part of just a phenomenal group of panelists today, and just extremely proud of Texas Wesleyan. Fun fact about myself, I love skydiving and looking forward to the opportunity to get back up in the skies and letting gravity do its thing. That's a little bit about myself.
Awesome. I'm also trying to get Crystal on right now. So we have another panelist, but we'll introduce her as she comes on. So we will go ahead and start with our questions for the evening. So Jordan, can you tell us a little bit about why it's important to view yourself as a brand?
Well, I think it's very important because you want to be able to build that value on yourself, and you want to know your strengths and your weaknesses, so you can be able to advertise not only to the jobs that you are potentially looking for, but you can also do the same for if you're trying to do it for your company. Like for me, I have to brand myself in a particular way when it comes to when I'm trying to earn new business, when I'm trying to expand, when I'm trying to get new investors or whatever it is for our business. It's me building a brand, building a great value around myself. So I feel that it's very important for people to understand and know what they're good at, hone in on their strengths and be able to advertise themselves.
Awesome. Does anybody have anything else they want to add? I know Melissa and Xavier also own their own businesses, so.
I'll jump in real quick. I would say that it is very important for anyone to view themselves as a walking billboard. Everywhere I go, I have to keep that in the back recesses of my mind, that I know I not only represent myself at Xavier, but Barbara Cares Foundation is also being viewed wherever I go. And so it's important to know that wherever you find yourself in life, that you are not only the person that people are viewing, but if you have a business, if you are trying to build a business, you are that brand. And so your actions reflect that, your conversations reflect that. I know that we are in a social media age, and I would just caution people to just be very mindful that you are a brand, and 5 years down the line, no matter what you do from that, it's also going to bear fruit of whatever you say. So keep that in mind, that you are a brand.
Absolutely. And I've worked at the university for 6 years-ish, and I was literally sitting at a farmer's market with my mask on, drinking a beverage. And senior walked up to me and said, "Are you that girl that works at Texas Wesleyan?" And I was like, yes. So people recognize you and know what you do. So definitely be careful about what you put on social media, but also just be proud of who you are and what you represent. All right, next question. This one's for, well, anybody, we can just do, anybody can chime in. In dealing with different personality types in the workplace, what are a few tips you would give our graduates about effectively working with a diverse team?
If y'all don't mind, I'm gonna chime in on this one first. So I think that it's essential for anybody, especially somebody who wants to own their own business, to realize that first and foremost, you're not the center of the world, right? So there's a lot of things that are going to happen around you. It's much bigger than you are. So if you can put yourself in that mindset first and foremost, then you can start to figure out, okay, why am I doing this? If you get your why, know your why, then effectively you can start handling everything else, right? So I think what's important is to take the time to learn other personalities and to understand that you may feel one way about something, but that doesn't mean that everybody else has to feel that way. And if you can understand that and learn to effectively deal with that mentally on your side, then you're able to take on any other personality. You will be able to be empathetic and understanding, but also put your foot down when you need to put it down and be the boss. You have to be able to kind of accommodate yourself to those different personalities in order to effectively work with others and really come to I guess, building these projects, because you, even as a business owner, you're not doing everything by yourself. You're going to have other people you're working with. You're going to have other, whether it's contractors or broker. On my end, it's different brokers, different agents. You know, yeah, I may not be everybody's cup of tea, but that's okay. I know how to handle myself and to effectively communicate. And I think that's the biggest thing. Take the time, learn how to effectively communicate with others.
And just to piggyback on what was said, the main tip that I would let people know is that you need to be prepared for it. Even looking at the panel today, we are all uniquely created. And because of that, that's something that we all have to be aware of and be prepared for. I'll never forget one of my first jobs out of college. I worked in a call center. It was a very fun time. And I say that loosely because it's made up of a lot of different people. But when you understand that we're all there for a specific purpose, and that's what I would let anybody know, is that we're all different, but being able to find commonality. And my background, my degree is in psychology. And so it's always fun for me to be able to understand the nuances of why people behave the way that they behave. But at the end of the day, we all have something that we can find common ground on. And as you carve out your time in the workforce arena, it's important for you to understand that you may have a group that is diverse, different from you, from different background, different beliefs, but at the end of the day, there is some commonality that we all can find and that we all can work toward, and be prepared for it.
Absolutely. All right. So, what advice would you give to someone who is currently interviewing in this virtual landscape?
Okay. I'm an old fart. Okay. So let's just be upfront. I was your non-conventional student. I'll be 37 in like a week. So the new graduates are going to be 90 something % of them are way younger than me. Right. However, I've run a business before now. This is my business. The business I ran before was not mine, but the hiring, the firing, all of that stuff is no fun on either side, right? But I think it's essential to be yourself. I am very much what you see is what you get. And I've been successful that way because it's full transparency. I 100% believe in transparency. I think that is essential to a respectable workplace. And I love that we are starting to get out of the hiding everything behind the curtain and getting to more of a transparent kind of world. But you have to be that way. It is okay to go into an interview, whether virtual or in person, and walk out and go, okay, that didn't feel right. I don't think that clicked. That's okay. You don't have to have the job. That's the point. Think of your interviews kind of as practice. You know, you go into one, you're going to knock it out of the park. You may not get the job, but you'll go into another and be like, this is weird. That was not right. And you might get the job offer. You never know, but you have to be yourself. You've got to be who you are. That is the number one thing. And also dress for the job you want. I think that's another big thing. Just because we're virtual doesn't mean that you can put on a t-shirt and be like, hey, what's up? No, you've got to dress for the job you want. If you want to be a career person, dress like a career person.
Christian, you're muted.
Sorry, thanks. How long did it take you to find a job, and how did you stay motivated while job hunting?
I guess I was one of the lucky ones. While I was on Texas Wesleyan, when I was at Texas Wesleyan, I had a work study program in the Graduate School of Business office. And so from that, I was able to, build some relationships, and I actually had a job after graduation. So I guess this is a unique question, but what I will say as far as how to stay positive when you are hunting on a job, just knowing that at the end of the day, one of those doors are going to open. And so just being able to know that what you're doing, you are putting one foot in front of the other with the end goal in mind. And that's what I try to tell everybody in every facet of any advice that I give. Just remember that you have a goal in mind. And so when you have that mindset, even as you're looking for a job, you have to just remember that I may not get it today, may not get it tomorrow, but I'm just one step closer. And if you keep that, you will be able to continue to stay motivated and stay encouraged until you do get that final job offer. And I tell you, when you get that job offer, it's going to be just like sweet as honey.
I will say that rejections and interviews that you don't get the job for, those are all learning experiences. So take the interview, regardless if you think that it's a job that you're not going to like, or it turned out to be something completely different. Like, take those, because they are always, everything's an experience and you'll learn from everything. So same thing about writing cover letters. Yes, it is a pain. So learn from that. I mean, tailor your cover letters to who you're applying for, do some research on them, and just learn from it.
Right. And I can say one thing, because I worked corporate for a little while before I got full-time in business full-time. I've been in business full-time, it's 2021, 4 or 5 years now, going on 5 years now. So it's to answer the question a little bit when it comes to business ownership is, I'm sure that Melissa can relate to it, is staying positive, staying motivated. You have to get on in a process. You have to understand that it's going to be a lot of learning experiences that's going to come with the entire process. And it's so, and a lot of people, especially during this day and age, we tend to rush a lot of things when it comes to what we want and being in our final stage. And when it's going to always be constant growth, always going to be constant changes, inevitable. So is having that in your mind, staying positive and sticking to the process and staying motivated with everything that's going on, especially with the change. You know, we went through so much during this past year, going on 2 years, and how much has changed with the entire dynamic of not only the workplace, but as far as, you know, looking for jobs and income in general, you know. And so I think you have to create healthy habits for yourself and just stick to the script, stick to the process, and understand that it's a long game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I've got to say, when it comes to job hunting, I was also pretty lucky. I did an internship with Northwestern Mutual, and I did really, really well. And so that's why I was offered the full-time contract like I was. And now I have my own business under that. So it has also been relatively easy. But it's not, because it's hard. It is hard work. I think that right now, where we're at in the employment game, it's a very interesting time to be looking for a job. This is uncharted territory. And I think that one of the biggest things that you can do is, I'm a big believer in giving 110% no matter what you do. You go in, if you give 110% and you go in and you do it, you are already putting yourself above 75% of the population. I think that you really, if you want to do something, you do it. And so if you want a job, you go on be shameless, just go. Who cares if you make a fool of yourself? Just go and then have a drink afterwards and relax, because that's what you got to do. I will also say, I think one of the best things you can do is, whoever you do your interview with, send them a follow-up email afterwards and just thank them for taking the time out to meet with you, because 95% of the people, if not 100% of them, are not going to do that. And so that kind of reiterates why you would be good for the position. And you just say, thank you so much for taking your time. I look forward to hearing back from you. And just that simple email is, I highly recommend that.
Absolutely. All right. What was the transition like from being a working student to a career? I know Jordan started his business while he was in school. And Melissa, did you work through school too? Yeah. So y'all will all have something to say about this.
I think the transition for me, it was a little rough. I'm not gonna lie. It was a little rough, mainly based off of, you become accustomed to the whole schedule with school, and all I had to focus on then was school. So that was literally, so what I was doing for money, it was a hobby. So once, my business expanded and I had to hire and we was growing, that transition for me is, I don't have anyone in my family that was entrepreneurs prior to me. So it was kind of like, all right, so what am I doing? Where's my money going? How do I need to make my schedule? Like what's going on? So there was it was a roller coaster for sure. And, I'm on a lot better schedule now, but it was definitely rough. But again, it's one thing that I'm stressing to everyone is, creating healthy habits for yourself, whether it's and always implementing things that you enjoy. We all have things that we escapes that we have. What if it's going to the gym? What if it's I know Xavier mentioned skydiving. What if it's doing things that we genuinely enjoy? Always including that into your schedule, so your life won't just be overwhelmed with just work. And you can be able to recalculate and you can be able to recalibrate and everything and just stay focused to the ultimate goal.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I did the whole going back to school as a single mom, working full time thing for the first 3.5 years of being back in college. I worked 60-hour weeks. I was a full time mom, full time student. When I got married, my husband was awesome, and so he was like, "You've got to leave this job. You need to take more time to focus on school." And so he supported me in doing that, and that was super helpful. But I went so hard for so long and did so many things that the transition wasn't a big deal. I probably had the opposite transition as most, because I went from every minute of every day being taken up to all I have now is mom and work. And I was like, what am I doing? And so now I'm actually starting a nonprofit and I'm helping with different charities. And I find myself, I'm like, I can't just sit stagnant. So if I'm not working on my business or being a mom, or a wife, then I'm over here. I'm like, okay, well, what else can we do? Because this is bigger than me now. So how can we be more? And I think once you just go for so long, you're just kind of like, all right, we're in the rhythm. Let's just keep doing this. When's retirement? 35 years. Okay, let's just keep going.
Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. How can recent graduates build networks around themselves to broaden their reach?
I'll jump in on there. I am a huge advocate of people being a part of networks. I know as far as with our foundation, when we first started it, it was hard just getting that off of the ground. But one thing that really helped us was being able to be a part of be a part of partnerships and to be able to effectively network. And so whether that's volunteering, finding an organization that aligns with your strengths, I would recommend anyone to go into seek out networks. I'm a part of several local as well as national organizations that have just been phenomenal as it relates to referrals, as it relates to if I have any questions on, how to get into a particular hospital here in the state. And so it's important to be able to utilize your circle and to expand your circle in order for you to continue to excel and to move forward in life. And so find a network, be a part of a network, and definitely tell other people to join it as well.
Yeah, I'll go ahead, Melissa. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. You unmuted first, so you go first.
Okay, and definitely piggybacking on what Xavier said is who you know is very, very, very important. And always, my dad always used to tell us, even when we were young, man, always treat people right. That's one of the biggest things that goes further, that would take you further than anything that you can possibly think of. Treating people right, being genuine with people, and understanding that having good gestures, and everything that you do doesn't have to be reciprocated. Sometimes you can do things in just good favor and continue to move forward. Just with you being a good person, the universe always brings things back. So understanding that you just who you know and building that network, communicating, and always, even if it's just a follow-up text message saying, hey, just thought about you, just wanted to check in with you, see how you were doing. Even if it's just little things like that, I'm telling you, it goes a very long way, especially in the workplace and in business as well.
I'm so with Jordan on this. I think karma is something to be reckoned with. Like it's the golden rule, right? You treat others the way you want to be treated. And I live my life by that. And not everybody's going to treat me the way that I treat them. And that's okay. It just means that it's not somebody that I want in my life. And I'm luckily I'm in a field where I can work with those that I want to work with. So if I have a client that talks down to me, which I have had before, then I'm able to say, I just feel like this isn't going to be a good fit, and I can move on. I can do that now, right? Because us as business owners, we're in that position. But I think we have a phrase, and it says, get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that means if you want to be here and you're over here, you have to get there, right? You can't just expect that to happen one day. You can say as many positive affirmations as you want, which are great for a mindset, but they're still not going to magically get you to here. You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable and putting yourself in the position to get there. I do it every day when I call people that they have no idea who I am. And I'm just saying, hey, can I build a plan for you? I don't want to be on the phone all day. I didn't sign up for that. But if I don't do that fundamental part of my practice, I don't have clients that in the future. So I have to get comfortable making these phone calls to people I don't know, and they don't know me. And it's a decision that I made because this is what I wanted for my life. So if you can put yourself in a position where you're saying, okay, it's uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it anyway, and we're going to take it on like Donkey Kong, then you're going to get there. So just remember that phrase, get comfortable being uncomfortable.
I will say that being involved as an alum, obviously I have to say this, I'm the alumni office, is really beneficial for people. I remember before I even worked in this office, I did go to alumni events, and some of them I was the youngest person there, but that's okay because I was still connecting with my alma mater and I was still meeting people. And I think that that's my favorite thing about my job is I get to meet a lot of different people at a lot of different places in their lives and hear their stories about Texas Wesleyan. So you'll never know when you'll meet somebody that you can help through something or they can help you with something. So just put yourself out there and grow your network. Are there any tips that you would give a graduate that may not have work experience when they are job hunting?
Okay. So we all know this, right? We go to apply for a job and it says 2 years of experience. Well, I just graduated college. I don't have 2 years to pull out of my butt. So where is this going to come from? I will say this, and I'm very blunt, so I apologize. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but do not put yourself in a position where you think that just because you graduated college, you're going to come out with starting at $60,000 a year in this dream job. Everybody on this panel has worked the bottom job. You have to earn that. And if it means, for me, it was washing dogs and doing their nails and stuff like that. This was the job I had before college. I used to run a dog grooming salon. So for me, it was there to get to the management position. So if you have to be comfortable doing the nitty gritty work to get the experience. And then when you have the experience, it's your job to understand when you're somewhere that is appreciating your work ethic and appreciating that experience, or to cut those ties and move on to the next level. But you can't get to the next level if you don't go to level 1 first. Think of it as a video game. You got to get here to get here to get here, right? So I mean, not literally, it's not a game, but you know what I'm saying.
And what I'll say is that I'll never forget, and I don't mind any of the graduates using this. So this is my gift to you all that are watching, and even for those that are watching the replay. I had a go-to phrase that I always said when I was working in the corporate arena. I'm coachable, I'm teachable, and I'm trainable. And any interview where there was any hesitation as far as, well, you're lacking in this area, well, you don't have experience in this area, I'm coachable, I'm teachable, and I'm trainable. And I think that it's important for you to say that with confidence and to be able to be just so convincing to the point to where the employer will say, you know, you may be lacking this over here, but I love your spirit. And I love the fact that you are coming in as a blank slate, because a lot of times we can have those employees. I'm pretty sure those that are on the panel can attest to this. But sometimes you have those workers that come in with their glass already completely full, and for some jobs that's not the best fit. And so if you know that if the employers know that you have some wiggle room to where you can be molded into that ideal candidate for that position, it'll serve you really good. And so remember that you're coachable, you're teachable, and you're trainable. And the last thing I would also say is that for graduates, I would encourage you to practice your elevator pitch. Be able to have a 30-second snapshot of who you are, what you bring to the table, and how you can help the company move forward.
Awesome. And Crystal's on too, so please chime in.
Yes, I am so sorry. I am running from one thing to another, and I was having trouble with my laptop, so I'm on my phone, literally in my car right now. This is the life of an entrepreneur, you guys. Oh, and I have my glasses on. I'm sorry. So the question was, yeah, if you don't have any experience. And so I love what Jordan said, and I really would agree with that. And also, I have been known to go in a long time ago, in my previous beginning years, is to be flexible, right? Be adaptable, take initiative, and tell people that you'll endeavor to persevere. I think, your employers want to see that you're going to be in this and that you're not just in it to take a paycheck out of it, right? That you do want to have some sort of experience and learn from them. And just be flexible, right? You want to be flexible and you want to take initiative to learn whatever you can. And then take that experience to be able to open other doors for you.
Absolutely. Sorry. Is it okay to accept a job outside of your area of study?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I can think of maybe out of the average person knows at least 400 people, like whether it's just Facebook friends or LinkedIn, like, I mean, a lot of people, you just may not realize it. But out of all the people I know, I can think of maybe one hand worth of people that are actually in the field of study. I'm a financial advisor, and I don't know one financial advisor that actually graduated with a finance degree. So yeah, it's okay.
And I'll say that the beautiful thing about the degrees is the fact that a lot of these degrees, they cross all kind of segments as far as it relates to the job market. My degree was in psychology, and my one of my best jobs that I ever had was a staffing coordinator. It had nothing to do with therapy, but it had everything to do with psychology and being able to find the right person to put for those job placements. It served that position well. But as far as if I'm sitting behind a desk, with my notepad and listening to everyone tell me their ills about life, no. But I would say, it is perfectly fine to be able to accept a job outside of your area of study. And it's just important to be able to think out of the box. If it's one thing that we all should have learned in this pandemic, is the power of a pivot. And so sometimes you have to be able to look beyond what you're currently doing and even what you have in your mind to do, to be able to accept the blessing that is before you. So absolutely, Absolutely.
I totally agree. I tell my kids all the time. I have 3 kids, and I tell them, going to school, your education is a great equalizer, right? And so it's a piece of paper, and I'm not devaluing it by any means at all. I'm not doing that. What I'm telling you is you have a piece of paper that's going to open doors for you, right? And so, like, I had focus on business administration, and my first job out of the gate was I was a grants writer for the city of Fort Worth. Right. And I did that because I gained all the experience working as an intern, learning about all the different city departments. So that piece of paper opened the door to me to be able to say, I have a degree, I can take this position, right? And then I have a little bit of experience, and it opened doors for me. And then I took that and transpired into being a lobbyist. And then from there, started to do some campaign work, and then opened up my own business, kind of doing all 3.
Awesome. Why is it important to have work-life balance?
We live in a pandemic, right? That's one of the biggest challenges, right? Especially, and I can only speak for myself as you get older and you have kids, and you need that work-life balance, because you won't be able to give to the work if you don't have the life balance, and vice versa. So it is important. I will share with you, I do own a comprehensive consulting firm where I do governmental relations and advocacy, as well as a little bit of grant writing. But I also own a yoga studio. So I incorporate the two together, right, to find that balance in life. Because if you don't have one, you can't give to the other. It's super important.
Absolutely. And I think I'll go ahead, Melissa.
Oh, no, you go. I'll go after you.
I was just going to just say, as far as what Jordan has been mentioning, as far as healthy habits, it is important for you to make a priority to have a balance. That is an essential healthy habit. I am notorious for being a workaholic. And a couple of years ago, I actually had a scare to where I was literally doing more than the Energizer Bunny. And I had to literally sit myself down per the doctor's orders in order for me to get some rest, some relaxation, and to just enjoy life. And so it's just important, not only for you to work hard, but to be able to really enjoy the life that we all are living. We have one life to live, so make the most of it. Definitely by no means be lazy, don't slouch, but definitely take time, some intentional time, to take care of yourself for some healthy habits.
I love what both of you guys have said. So there's a video that I've seen, and I share this with everybody. So if y'all have a chance, go on to YouTube. The comedian Michael Jr. actually did a spotlight, and it's called Know Your Why. And just look for that. Know Your Why, Michael Jr. It is one of the most soul gripping videos I've ever seen. You're not going to cry. It's nothing like that, but it really puts you in this mindset of like, yes, it is so important to know your why behind what you're doing. If you do not know, for me, my why is my family. It's creating the ability for others to be able to be financially secure and not have to worry about if they're going to have to live on the streets. Will they be able to pay for long-term care? These kind of things that scare people. I'm able to put that at ease. These are my whys. And if you can do that, you will find the balance. It's essential for me, especially with having kids, to be able to watch them grow up and be there. And I think that's I'm pretty sure that's probably why all of us on here are business owners or entrepreneurs, is because that freedom of the schedule to be able to be there for your family or be there, for whatever it is that's important to you. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get that if you don't find balance. And so it's essential for you to figure out, why am I doing this? Why is this important to me? And then use that as your foundation for how your work-life balance is going to flow. How many hours a day? Like, I wake up every day, except for today, because the rain made me want to sleep, but I wake up every day at 5 a.m. and I go to the gym, and then I come home and we get ready for work and school, and we drop off. And I am so productive on those days Of course, like I said, the rain kind of, I did not want to get out of bed this morning, but you know, I think it's essential, have an ideal schedule that you really try to stick to. It's not 100%, but for me, I have my ideal schedule on my Outlook. And then next to that, I have my actual schedule, and I try to make sure those align. So that way by a certain point, I'm done, and that's family time. You know what I mean? And then if you're married, you need to have the time with your husband. You and your husband are the foundation of your entire world, right? If you don't have put the time in to nurture your marriage, that flows out to the children and it flows out to your job. So I think it's really important, but it's okay for things to kind of be like this for a little bit. But if you have that ultimate goal in mind, you'll get there. And so I would just start with why. Why are you where you want to be? Why do you want to do the things that you do? And then see where that takes you. But watch the video because it's amazing.
Since all of you are entrepreneurs, everybody can answer this. What advice would you have for people who might want to start their own business down the road?
So I have a sign in my office that says, if this entrepreneurship doesn't work out, I guess I'll have to get a real job. But the advice I would have you guys is love what you do, right? Have a passion around it. Don't just look at how much money can I make out of this, right? Because that's not the end goal. Being an entrepreneur, you're going to work hard. You're going to be proud of what you do. You're going to find passion behind it. It's your why that Melissa was talking about that gets you up every morning, right? It energizes you to take care of your health first and foremost, and then to go take care of your family and your business. For me, it's my passion, right? I have a passion around advocating for others. I have a passion around, writing proposals that brings the vision to fruition, right? And then I have a passion also, about health and wellness. And so for me, it's the passion.
Absolutely.
And I would just say, and this is what prompted me to start the Barbara Cares Foundation. And it's just simple, that someone is tied to the solution that I offer. And so for anyone that is thinking about starting their own business, doing something on their own, just realize that you are the solution that someone is looking for. And so if you do not step out, and if you do not do what is on the inside of you to do, someone is going to miss out. And so just keep that in mind, that you are the solution that someone is looking for. And that's my why every day of why I do everything that I do, because we bring solutions. And if it weren't for us, then there would be a lot of people out there that would be without the answer.
I would say if you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to start your own business, I'm with them. Like, it's got to be a passion, because anybody who has started a business will tell you you're in that business. You are that business. It's not I'm going to work from 8 till 2 and then I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go poolside. And no, that's not an option. You are building a business. And if you are not willing to put 500% of yourself into this business, don't do it, because it is literally, it takes a while and it is hard. And I remember when we did the entrepreneur talk, people like Michael Rose would come in and they would talk about the things that they went without while building their business, and the trials that they faced and how they were awake. They would just go 48, 72 hours, just go. So be prepared and understand that they're part-time businesses are not businesses. It is a full-time gig. And if you are not looking to be an entrepreneur, that's okay. Not everybody is. And you will find and I think it's so important for people to understand. I did not figure out my passion until I was 33. Okay. you may not know what you want to do right now. You could be like me, where I was like, I grew up knowing you give it 110%. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're out there shoveling horse manure or cow manure, whatever you want to call it, you're doing it 110%. That's what it was. So I was always there for what I did, but I didn't know what I wanted. I figured that out in my 30s. It is okay. Like they said, pivot earlier. It's a great word. You were going to pivot. You're going to have curveballs. You're going to have a bad day at work where you feel like the entire world just hates you. It doesn't mean you duck your head, leave, and never come back. You fight through it. You use those times to build your character and find your worth and be like, you know what? I'm better than this. We're going to just push through it. We're going to persevere, and I'm going to be strong on the other side. And eventually you will find what you want to do. Do not leave college thinking, if I don't have it now, I'm never going to have it. You'll get it. You'll have that something in your life. For me, it was finding out that my grandparents had gotten screwed out of $600,000. Everybody has their thing that just clicks, right? And then it clicks and you're like, that's it. And go for it. Don't let anybody tell you this is your life. It is your life to live. We have one. Live it, and go after what you want. And do not let anybody stand in your way. Okay. That's 100% from my heart to yours.
And I just want to add one more thing to what Melissa said is don't be scared to try. You know, a lot of us are entrepreneurs. I promise you, we probably lost many, many hours of sleep, maybe years, right, of living in fear of what if it doesn't work out, right? But then you jump in with 2 feet, you say, what if it does, right? And that's where you give your 500%. And even if it still doesn't work out, the failure is in the not trying, you guys. That's what I would tell you. The failure is in the not trying. So I would highly suggest to you that if you have that thought placed in your head, it's there for a reason, and follow your heart and follow your thoughts.
Jordan, can you tell us a little bit about your business and your brand and kind of how you got started and what inspired you to do that? Because you have a great story.
I got you. I appreciate it. So I was doing a little bit at Texas Wesleyan. So I was a student when I graduated in 2016. I was doing a lot of work with the athletic department because I played basketball a little bit, and then when I stopped, that's when I started selling, our basketball team, soccer team, and different sports, different shirts and stuff. Because that's when I was just starting out. So I didn't get a lot of my resources until after I graduated in regards to like manufacturing and everything to definitely scale the business. And basically the biggest thing was I was always trying things. Like me, I'm a big risk taker. I'm trying because you put shots up, you're gonna hit some, you're gonna understand, okay, I could have did this better. Or, okay, I could have did that better. Oh, I did really really well on that. So that was similar to what Melissa said. Is just, you got to take chances. You got to, give yourself a chance to win in something, and you got to be able to take chances. I think Sam Walton, he wasn't, Sam Walton, the guy that launched Walmart, he didn't start until 44 years old. He was 44 when he first started, and look at Walmart now, and look how big it is. Look how, it's worldwide. So it's you have to be patient. You got to understand it's a long game. It's a very long game. We have a lot of years to live and a lot of years ahead of us than we do behind us. So it's definitely being patient with that.
Absolutely. Okay, one of my favorite things about this event. We're just going to go around and ask about words of wisdom from the panelists to our graduates and even our alums. We'll have some alums that watch this. So, Crystal, you can go first. You're on mute still. Hold on.
Am I off? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Words of wisdom. I would say to have fun, right? Have fun with what you're doing. Always know your why, like Melissa said. That's really big. And what you do it with passion and endeavor to persevere. And one of the biggest things that I really enjoy about being an entrepreneur is being able to give back to the community that gave to me. So I always feel like you need to have a heart of service. That for me, I feel like God has given me the resources and the flexibility to be able to give back to those that need help like I did at one time.
Absolutely. Xavier?
I would just, just say, just don't stop trying. I think that all of us here on this panel can probably agree to the fact that we are where we are because we took forth that initial risk to try. And so for those that are graduating, entering into this wonderful world, starting your career, just please don't stop trying. Whatever you have your heart and your mindset to do, always try, because when you don't try, you might as well quit.
Melissa?
Gosh, I feel like I've said a lot. I think a few takeaways are definitely going to be, get comfortable being uncomfortable. It's okay. It is okay. I've made a fool of myself. I couldn't even tell you how many times, and I'm okay with that because it's got me to where I am. And then know your why. And I would say number one is just stay true to who you are. Don't fake it till you make it. Just be you. You will find a place that you love to be. You will find a place where you feel accepted and you're really part of the team. And don't be afraid to do the grunt work to get to where you want to be. We've all done it. And it's part of life. So humble yourself and prepare to, jump in with every part of who you are, and don't be offset by the different pivots and challenges. Those are there to make you stronger. It's life, it's reality. We can't run away. We've got to face our issues. So if something comes up, you just say, all right, bring it on. We're going to do this. And you get past it. Trust me, I've dealt with a lot of them. So and especially if you want to own your own business. So, but yeah, number one, get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Jordan?
I definitely agree. Life is a response. Life is definitely a response to, we're always gonna face different challenges, and understand that, I just turned 26, and one thing I'm so upset about when I was 21, 22, when I graduated, was I was always trying to be in competition, and I was trying to race. I wanted everything now. I wanted everything then. I wanted it now. And you got to understand that it's a long game. We all have very long lives to live, and you don't be in competition with anyone. When it comes to your home, when it comes to your workplace, build a culture of how you want your home and your workplace to be. I don't have any kids, but I understand now how my parents, when they raised us, what we did as a family, the things that we do individually, you're building those, like I continue to say, the healthy habits. And the same thing as your workplace. What is your common goal? This is what this is how we're going to get to it. As long as you know your goal, we can go around any detours as long as we get there. And as long as we have fun doing it. Life is very short, and we have to understand that we have to live life to the fullest. So get out of your comfort zone and just have fun with it. And yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, guys. That was so great. Very inspiring, especially for, we love seeing things like this and hearing from our alums. So thank you again so much. I just wanted to talk about a few more things. Career Services is here for our students and alums. So they do provide some of these services that are listed on the screen. You can call, make an appointment with them, and they'll help you out. And of course, anytime that you'd like to call the alumni office, we can point you in the right direction, if not help you ourselves. And then last but not least, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We love hearing from you and interacting with you, and that's really the best way to stay in touch with our office. So thank you again to our panelists. Y'all were so great. It's really, it was kind of a gloomy day, and this really picked me up. So we're excited to put this online to share with some other people. So thank you again, and I hope everybody has a great rest of the week.
Thank you, and congratulations, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. All right, everybody, stay well.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.